Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the Mixed Texan Report. I hope you all had a great Christmas season, spent time with family, friends, ate some great food, drank lots of wine, all that good stuff. My favorite time of the year, well, Halloween, and then it's kind of a tie between Halloween and Christmas. I love Halloween. I'm a big Halloween guy, but Christmas, I love the festivities, the decorations, the lights, all that, and I always look forward to it every year. But I want to talk about Christmas movies and the lack thereof nowadays. The reason why I bring this up is because my wife and I were watching Christmas with the Cranks. Great movie with Tim Allen. Came out in 2004, 2005, around that time. And it's very funny. Gets you in the mood for the holidays, gets you in the holiday spirit. And it's really funny. It's just a lot of fun to watch. And I said something. I said, have you noticed not making as much Christmas movies in the movie theaters like they used to? I said, actually, my question was, what happened to movies like these? They don't make these anymore. And on the screen, as you see, there's Jingle All the Way, my favorite Christmas movie of all time. In my opinion, it is the greatest Christmas movie of all time. We could debate that in the comments all you want, but this is by far the greatest Christmas movie of all time. Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger. But anyway, we had movies coming out like this all the time in the theaters. Let's talk about a few of these right here. It seemed like every year you can look forward to seeing a good Christmas movie that comes out in about November, December, right around Christmas time. Yeah, but let's talk about this. And I'm just gonna name off a few. Okay, you have the Santa Claus, the whole Santa Claus series that started in 1994 with Tim Allen. You had Santa Claus 1, Santa Claus 2, then you had Santa Claus 3 that came out in 2006. Christmas with the Cranks, uh, Deck the Halls, the Home Alone series. I'm going between the 90s and 2000s. You had the Home Alone series 1, 2, and you had Home Alone 3. Deck the Halls, Unaccompanied Minors, Elf. You had a lot of great movies. The Grinch, How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey, Polar Express, and holiday classics like Friday After Next, which often gets overlooked. Friday After Next is one of the best Christmas movies, probably the best adult Christmas movie of all time. I think it's better than Bad Santa. Um, you can't go wrong with the Friday series, but I actually watched Friday After Next on Christmas morning after I watched Jingle All the Way. And going to the 80s now, you have Gremlins. Gremlins is a good Christmas movie too. But I'm a little disappointed at the lack of Christmas movies coming out nowadays. There was one that I saw this year. It was Violent Night. And the reason why I saw it was mainly because, for one, I love action and fighting and stuff like that in movies, but I also love Christmas time. So I went and saw it as a perfect blend of Christmas and some action. But it was the only movie that I could think of around this time of the year to come out in theaters that was centered around Christmas. And it seemed like every year you could look forward to things like this. Even if they are not classic movies or they don't leave a mark on you like some of these movies do, like Jingle All the Way does, or Home Alone, or The Santa Claus, I feel like there was always something that was heartwarming. It was fun, it was lighthearted, and you could go see it with your family or whatever. And we just don't have that anymore. I think we know why. It's because there are a lot of people that get offended by Christmas itself. If a lot of these woke idiots in Hollywood, I feel like they're not making these movies anymore because there's this anti-Christmas thing going on the left. You have people trying to cancel Christmas at libraries in different places like that. And I think you're seeing this in Hollywood. You're not seeing these films coming out with a lot of cases that have big name actors. And now you're seeing more of movies go to Netflix. I was looking at Netflix the other day, and all there was this Hallmark type movies that go to Netflix, and they don't have any big actors. Some of them do. There's one that came out, Lindsay Lohan. I mean, she's kind of irrelevant now, but you don't have these big Christmas movies that come out every year like you used to. And it's a little disappointing. I don't want to go to Netflix and see some C list or D level actor, that I barely know of, trying to make a Christmas classic. And it's always the same thing with, oh, they fall in love with somebody, they're with some jackass, and then they fall in love with a normal guy, a regular guy who's a construction worker or something. I'm just making up an example here, but you don't have movies like this, Jingle All the Way. Number one, in my opinion. Let's have a debate in the comments. We'll talk about that. But it's disappointing because that was something I could always look forward to, was going to the movies and seeing a Christmas movie at least 2 times a year in the season. Like I said, they have one called Deck the Halls, fun Christmas movie, Unaccompanied Minors. These are not classics, but they were still lighthearted and entertaining. But I don't know. It's upsetting. I want to know if anybody else notices that, or is it just me? But I've noticed a downtick in these types of movies. They had one come out. I think it was Christmas Chronicles that came out on Netflix, which was good. Which kind of brings back some of that what I'm talking about here. If that was put into the movie theaters, yeah, then I would think you would have. That's the kind of movie that I'm thinking of. Fun, lighthearted, and very holiday oriented. But they're going to this streaming stuff, which is fine. But I'm a movie guy. I love going to the movies. I love the experience of going out with my wife or my family and being around people. It's a holiday season. People are shopping, and you go shopping and you go to the movie afterward. It's just something I always look forward to. But now it's like all this streaming stuff, and they're putting movies on Netflix or Hulu all the time, and half the time these movies aren't even all that good. But I want to know if you are with me on this. Do you notice that there's a downtick in good Christmas movies coming out in the movie theaters? And I just want to see some of that again. I don't know if we ever will, but I'm going to keep the spirit alive in my life by watching these movies every year. I watch Jingle All the Way, Friday After Next, Christmas with the Cranks, Santa Claus 3, and my wife's favorite, The Family Stone. Wasn't my choice, but that's her favorite Christmas movie of all time. A little slow in my opinion, but whatever. And then I was flipping back and forth when I put on live TV. I was flipping back and forth between the Santa Claus and Home Alone. Now, a lot of these movies that I'm talking about came out in the 90s and 2000s. So a lot of these movies that people like to watch during the holiday season came out over a decade ago. In some cases, 2 decades or 3 decades ago. I watched Gremlins. I watched Gremlins as well. That came out in 1984. So a lot of these movies that people watch for nostalgia purposes obviously are older, but to stay in the Christmas spirit, these are older movies we're talking about. Nothing new that's come out recently to put us in the holiday spirit, like I said. So I don't know. Tell me what you think. And what are your favorite Christmas movies of all time? My order, my top 3. Jingle All the Way, Santa Claus, Home Alone. And then it's Friday After Next is going to be up there. It's somewhere close. That movie's so funny. It's crazy how I still laugh just as hard as I did 20 years ago when it came out. And to this day, I find it just as entertaining. Hey, Gremlins. What do you think about Gremlins? That's a great Christmas movie. All right, guys. I'm going to stop the video right there. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Take care.